as our dear sister Ray Ellen has been discussing in the planetary encodement, we have some massive structural changes to our collective coming forward. And these are not just planetary influences, these are planetary doorways to celestial connections. I'm talking about stellar networks. Stellar networks have light codes. Okay, our sun has light codes. So these stellar networks are pouring in through these planetary gateways, filling our subconscious with light codes, with consciousness. And as that part of ourselves becomes illuminated, we start to light up, our awareness starts to light up on those levels. We may not know it's those levels that's lighting up. What will happen is that the reality, how we navigated, the energy of how we navigated will all of a sudden change. It's not the same. Maybe you'll just wake up one day feeling completely differently about something that you for a long time had a particular attitude about. That kind of change happens as these light codes come in and find fertile ground in our energy field, in our light body, and start to grow. It's just a natural change that happens. Now, where the issue gets is when we have some very strong ego structures that are battling the change, and that's where the suffering comes in. And that's where the larger aspect of reality does its thing. It'll pound at those structures until you surrender to it and give it up. And when I say you, I'm talking about the ego driver version of you. Now, the spirit side of you, the infinite side of you, just holds space and infinitely just holds that space until you wake up to yourself. And then the encodement can explode further even more and give you even more capacities, give you even more abilities. And this is being paced right along with the growth and implementation of AI, quantum AI, AGI, all this stuff. So our consciousness is the answer. Our awakening to our multidimensional reality is the nature, in my perspective, the nature's response to the capacities that's being brought on with AGI, terrestrial and extraterrestrial, right? So there's this moving forward. We're moving each other forward. Now, the predator stuff and all that, those are inserts within these overlays that we're working out. And the funny thing is, funny, not funny, is that once we expand our awareness and change our perspective and relationship to what these things are, we start to realize, oh, I'm a victim of this at all. I actually was part of the grand design. I participated in dreaming that idea into this nesting doll reality. And once you see it that way, then it actually starts to make sense why part of us might be really attached to those creations. Okay, you see how these perspectives completely shift. So I want to break one particular one down for you guys, because I think this will really illustrate the point I'm trying to make here. Okay, and of course I thought my readers were on my head, but it was actually my sunglasses. So it's going to take me a minute. All right, dear sister Felicia says, Barbara Marciniak was my first multidimensional teacher who introduced me to the Pleiadians. Yes, Barbara, her work is prolific. Now, those were critical times, and we need to understand that Pleiadians aren't just random ETs. Pleiadians have a very, very close relationship with humanity. And for those of us who are in touch with the indigenous story narrative of who we are, what we are, why we're here, the Pleiadians are deeply woven into the fabric of that identity. They are literally our brothers and sisters. We have Pleiadian DNA. Not only Pleiadian DNA, but a lot of soul groups that have migrated from the Pleiadian frequency system and have started incarnating in this system. So there's lots of crossover, and the Pleiadians are also guardians of a particular nesting doll of reality for humanity. And this is another reason why it's really, really important to stay in contact with the field, with that frequency, because that helps us. That's like a doorway. They hold that resonance for us so we can expand our awareness and feel other perceptions. The problem that a lot of humans are having right now is that it requires being in your heart. It requires knowing your love. It requires being willing to choose happy, being willing to choose a smile inside, even though there might be a whole stack of things in the outer world that illustrate something different. Okay, so it really requires a willingness to really to go into a strong sense of personal inner sovereignty. And as you do that more and more and more, then that doorway, that we'll just say that, yeah, that doorway to those to that consciousness is more available to us. And it requires playfulness, lightness. And this is where the elemental realm is really, really helpful. We have all sorts of fae beings that are very uplifted in their frequency. And as soon as we make contact with them, we feel so much lighter, we feel so much happier, and we feel like magic is really afoot. You know, there's a lot of freedom with that.